Why Gen Z are giving up on anything? Well, I'll tell you why the Gen Z is giving up on everything, because the world is absolutely fucked. It is now harder to get a house. Let me rephrase that. It's impossible to get a fucking house. Women are becoming worse and worse and worse as whore culture becomes mainstream. You can't find a good partner. Nobody wants to have children. Your bosses are more retarded than you are. And all of the people who are in charge of everything have been brought in there by nepotism. Now, here is the light in the darkness. Because giving up has now gone mainstream, those who work hard will be rewarded, because now everybody considers shit is fucked, and so there's no reason to do anything. Now is the time to bust your fucking ass in a landscape filled by those who have already given up, and get ahead when everybody else is content getting behind. So bust your ass, you will make it. Hard work, you can overcome everything. Sure, it's not easy, but nothing worth doing ever is. So bust your ass and get the fuck in there, but I would love to hear about how fucking doomed everything is. Just a little bit of hope before this video most likely depresses the fuck out of you.
Imagine a world so cooked that giving up everything is actually a more logical career move than getting a degree. In China,
Okay, there's a big difference between getting a degree and giving up. Okay, college is a fucking scam. Everybody should know that getting a degree is a waste of time. You're gonna get into $250,000 of debt. You're gonna be guaranteed a career, and then you're not gonna get one 99% of the time. So just bust your ass the moment you finish school. And if you want to get even more ahead, bust your ass before you finish high school and start looking at what you want to do and studying for that, and get in there while you can. Work experience is everything. I'll be real. I think the majority of kids should probably pick up a part-time job when they turn 16. And if you do, you are going to fucking slaughter in this world. You will. And get good with your hands. Okay? Because a lot of people are getting worse with their hands because everything is automated now. So get good with your hands. And really, I think self-employment and starting your own business is the key to success right now.
there's a Gen Z trend called Bailan. It literally translates to let it rot. And no, it's not a protest with signs and shouting. It's way more relatable than that. It's just not doing anything. Imagine 200,000 people in a group chat collectively agreeing that they just don't want to work today and going back to sleep. They even have a name for this final boss level, which is full-time children. That's when you're 25, living at home, and your parents pay you an allowance just to exist, because the job market outside is scarier than a horror game. And before you say, oh, that's just a China thing, well, look around. You're probably watching this in a dark room at 2 p.m. on a weekday.
It's 11 a.m. It's 11 a.m. Wrong. Clicks off video.
The blinds are shut, and you've got 3 half empty water bottles on your nightstand. You're basically a full-time child. You just haven't updated your LinkedIn bio yet.
True.
Look, we were told that life was a simple RPG game. Go to school, get the middle-class DLC, and profit for a living. But oh boy, the reality is way worse. Gen Z unemployment is peak at 10.5%. We're the most educated.
That's really not that bad. 10.5% really isn't that rough.
Generation in history, holding 6-figure debt for degrees that are basically expensive utensils.
Yep. I am so glad more people are talking about how much of a scam college is. Like everybody I know who's dropped out of college has not regretted it. Straight up. And whenever somebody says, oh, I'm going to go back to college to get a degree, for fucking what, bro? For what?
Applying for jobs that require 5 years of experience for an entry-level salary.
Yeah, I know 5 to 6% is normal unemployment. So yeah, I mean, 10.6 is bad, but you know, people act like the unemployment rate is like 50%. Right? People say, oh, it's impossible to get a job. 50% of people are unemployed. Well, okay, no, they're not.
That hasn't moved since the first GTA game came out. And when we complain, people will say that nobody wants to work anymore. So we started quitting.
Yeah.
Not all at once, but in stages. Like a slow motion car crash in business casual. In China, they have the let it rot trend. How about in the land of the free America? Well, we have something called Softsaving. It's basically the financial version of let it rot.
My whole ordeal and how I want to get ahead in life is I treat every hobby like it's my job. And that's how I get ahead so much in everything. In case you guys don't know, I play this card game called Riftbound. And in just 6 months of playing, I've made 6 figures from playing this game because I treat it like a job. I study it like it's a job. I play it like a job. Literally just yesterday, I went into a tournament and I won another $800 in a tournament that lasted 5 hours. Right, so I was being paid $130 an hour just to fucking be there. I'm crushing my fucking locals. As well as I'll go out to nationals and I'll fucking shark the fuck out of these people. While everybody else is treating streaming and content creation as a hobby, treat that shit like a job, work that shit like a job, and you will get ahead 100%.
So instead of killing yourself to save for a house that you'll never afford for retirement,
True.
Gen Z is soft saving by spending their money now on things that actually make them feel alive. We've traded the 401k for a 401ok and buying this latte. If the future is a dumpster fire...
Here's another thing I'd highly recommend. A lot of people will spend literally $3,000 to $5,000 at a minimum to go on like a big vacation for like a week. And they'll talk about how fun it was, how great it was, how great of a time they had. And I'm sure they did. But when people tell me about these trips they go on, I never feel envious because I'm like, damn, you had to get out of your house and go to another country just to experience joy. I feel sorrow for you. I do, because if you were to take that same money, the $3,000 to $5,000, and invest that into your home life, getting some nice, maybe a new AC unit, maybe upgrading your fridge, like maybe getting a new Xbox console, spending your money on permanent upgrades over temporary joy, you will start to enjoy your life so much more when you don't spend your money on going to the club, when you don't spend your money on going out to movies, when you don't spend your money to like order DoorDash. Or the biggest investments you should make are permanent lifestyle upgrades. Whether that's getting a bidet or a new console or a physical version of a game that you can sell later when you're done with it and recoup the losses of what you spent. Like if you go into the store and buy the $80 PS5 game, instead of downloading it digitally, then when you're done, you can sell it back on Craigslist for $70. And then you spend $10 on that shit rather than $80. So trying to buy permanent things that when you're done with them, then you can sell, recoup that profit, but keep a substantial life upgrade for a significant amount of time is very important. So that's what I always do. I like making my house my paradise, not having to spend thousands of dollars to go somewhere else to experience that same paradise. So upgrading your living situation is so important. Like buy a sous vide machine, buy a juicer, buy a new oven, all of this shit. But that just be like, tangibles. Focus on tangibles.
Why not enjoy it now? Some people also do quiet quitting. You show up, you do exactly what's on the paper, and you leave the second the clock hits 5. No hustle energy at all. You're just an NPC that someone forgot to give a quest to. You aren't lazy. You're just performing at a low cortisol level for your own sanity. And
so invest in a membership on youtube.com/Tectone today for the best lifestyle increases. Make sure to sub in Super Chat. Thanks, Nex.
Then there are the NEETs. Not in employment, education, or training. Around 4.3 million young Americans right now are completely out of the system. They're not finding jobs, they're not studying, and they're not certainly planning for the future. They're just out from the system. I realized that the American dream that we're all trying to achieve was for a game that doesn't exist anymore.
True.
When the first domino of a career falls, everything will slowly fall too. If you think the trends are happening because people are just lazy, then do me a favor and try open LinkedIn. Entry-level postings are down 35% since 2023,
Oh my God.
and youth hiring is down 45% compared to 2019. And the ones that do exist, well, AI ate them all.
True.
Companies are using AI to replace the exact entry-level jobs that Gen Z needs just to get started. Young developer employment dropped nearly 20% by September 2025.
That's awful.
Heck, even Spotify's own developers are using AI to do the thing that they're supposed to do. And then the hiring process itself became a game nobody asked to play. 75% of resumes get rejected by bots before a human sees them. You're
True.
not writing for a person anymore. You're writing for an algorithm named Sarah. And some companies now use AI to conduct the actual interviews, like scanning your face, reading your micro expressions, and
When they check your face, they just double check that you're not black before they hire you.
Or in your eye contact. You could give the perfect answer and get eliminated because you blinked wrong. If you do manage to survive the bus and land a job, what do you actually win? Well, you win the right to rent everything forever. Housing is bought up by the investment firms. Cars are just way too expensive nowadays. Software and every app that you will have in your phone will be all subscriptions.
True.
We are moving toward a world where you own nothing and pay a monthly fee until you die. So what can we do? What's the actual move? Do we just rot until this finally crashes? Look, there is no morning routine or cold plunges that fixes a broken global economy. Anyone telling you that is just monetizing your depression. But there is a way to stop being a victim of the glitch. Step 1 is having a 30-day system reset.
Yep.
The rules are...
Oh, I am so glad they're talking about a 30-day plan. These things are actually crazy if you commit to them.
Commit to 1 hour every single day to learning a skill that the system cannot automate, whether that's a digital craft or a complex language.
Yep.
You set daily challenges to keep yourself productive, like refusing to snooze the alarm. Also set a monthly goal and a distraction penalty for yourself to be more disciplined. Step 2 is understanding the rot while you're doing this. You have to realize something. That part of you that wants to stay in bed, that your lazy side is actually a protector. It's trying to keep you under the covers so you don't have to feel the pain of applying for 100 jobs and getting ghosted 100 times. The solution isn't to kill that part of you.
I'm going to say this right now. I am going to commit to a 30-day plan right now, and I'm going to do this every day for 30 days to put my money where my mouth is. I am going to challenge the thing that I struggle with the most in this life. Okay? And I want you guys to pick something that's struggling with you guys as well. For the next 30 days, I am going to get out of bed within 5 minutes of my alarm going off. Okay? That is the thing I struggle with the most. I wake up every day at 7:30 and I don't get out of bed until 8:20. So I am going to get out of bed within 5 minutes of my alarm going off. Okay? I'm going to do this for 30 days. For 30 days, I'm going to do this until I just get used to it. Okay? That is my promise to you guys. I will update you guys every day that I'm doing this. 30 days. I can do this because I'm wasting like an hour every day by just rotting in bed, right? For you guys, it's probably maybe consume less porn, all right? But study something. Study something you want to get good at.
You is to acknowledge it, because staying in that place will ultimately kill you nonetheless. When you stop shaming yourself for being tired, you finally stop wasting energy on self-hate and start using it for momentum. Step 3 is building your own future. Look, the real winners in this glitchy economy are the ones brave enough to build their own lanes from scratch. And no, this isn't just about starting a business to make a quick buck. It's about deep passion and real-world value. Look for a problem in the world that actually keeps you up at night and decide to be the ones who solves it. Whether you want to be a creator or make a business, do something that you are actually passionate about. Look, the system may feel like it failed you, but it's not your fault. You are still the one who...
Another big thing that you can do is find a service that's being provided locally in your neighborhood. Find out what those people are charging. Do a better service and charge less, and you will have a self-sustaining business at a fundamental level. Like, find out how much the Mexicans are charging for mowing yards. Do it better. Speak English. Charge less. You will get a clientele basis that you can work very easily. And then from there, work into home improvements, do it better for cheaper, and then start hiring people that you trust that speak English, and you will start developing a clientele. I have helped many people start their own businesses in San Antonio, as in Austin, that all start off by mowing grass, to cleaning gutters, to plunging toilets, to putting TVs on walls, to washing dishes, right? That are now like sustainably working 3 days a week of just doing some hard labor, and they're good. They're making like nearly like high end, like $80,000, $90,000 a year. So yeah, just get really good at side quest, 100%.
The controller. Now get out of bed, not for a company that will replace you with a bot to save.
Yeah, but Mexicans don't pay taxes. Okay, find all the Mexicans who are doing those jobs, call ICE, get them deported, and then do their jobs. It's that easy. It's really that easy. Just get them deported back to Mexico and then say, hey, Jose, he's gone. You need someone to mow your lawn? Really that easy.
5 cents. But get out of bed because the new world needs people who are awake enough to build it. The world right now may seem like it's rigged, but you're still in the game. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.
Title of this video, I give up. Amazing video. Amazing video. I think a lot of really good information there, as well as a little bit of doom posting, but everybody, I'm sure, has felt that way at a certain point where it feels easier to give up. But now is the time to push even harder in a generation of people who say, I can't do it. You can. Just keep pushing every day. Commit yourself 30 days to bettering yourself and keep the momentum going.